so that you're visible.
Thanks. Okay, it's going to be a bit like the Three Stooges, but we'll be efficient. So just first of all, not everybody might know who Paradigm is, so maybe just 2 seconds. We're a publishing services provider, which is in our name. We're part of De Groot de Bril, but operate as independently as you can. We primarily provide services for libraries. So the University Press Library, which is content from university presses, also open source repositories stemming from originally from Ubiquity. Also, we serve small publishers and university presses with platforms, distribution and marketing, and editors and researchers with primarily open access journal platforms and some OA book publishing. Right. So we've talked about AI, very deep, very modern, very now. And what we're talking about is looking the other direction to support the future. So in the past, an awful lot of information that may have been relevant was lost because it was in paper, it was stuffed somewhere in archives, not being used. And so this is what we do with digitization. We bring dead, dormant stuff back to life for libraries, for archives, for smaller presses. And it's relevant to AI because not just because you need to know what happened in the past to understand the future, but also because we all think AI came out of nowhere. 2, 3, 4 years ago, ChatGPT, all of a sudden, oh my God, it's here. Well, no. One of our partners, Edinburgh University Press, was able to, through the digitization that we did, was able to reintroduce the world to groundbreaking texts on machine intelligence and AI from the 70s and 80s, thanks to the work that we did with them. And that's just one example of many. For Yale, there were things, out of print title since 1908. For the American Philosophical Society, goes all the way back to 1771. All this stuff, and you may have seen in the press in the past few days, AI companies are hiring philosophers, like a big thing over the past 2 days. Well, some of this content might be relevant. But primarily something we talk about a lot is diversity, not the way it's been defined for the past 6 or 7 years, a little bit, but it's about diversity of thought. Things that happen in the past that are now accessible might be incredibly relevant in 1 to 2 years or 10 years. We don't know. And so that's part of the fun of this particular product that we offer. And it's one of my favorites because it's also incredibly satisfying to know that you've discovered something. It doesn't always happen, but it's incredibly satisfying and it makes us all, gets us all quite excited. You're not looking excited because it's too warm, but you're about to be excited because these are our experts that actually do the work. So I thought it would be more interesting to have people that are doing the work talk to you than just me dancing around doing comms and marketing. So my colleague Daniela and my colleague Floor.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Danilo. I'm with Paradigm, daughter of De Groot de Bril, publisher. Eric perfectly wrapped it up, what we tried to show you with the next slides. But get started. I'm talking to why digitization and positioning ourselves. We heard a lot of impressive stuff from the other vendors as well. So we are, as Eric said, on the other side of the chain. We show you some of our completed digitization projects, ongoing projects, and of course we introduce you who we are, and we share some lessons learned. So now you have name to the face. Myself, the senior manager, processes and digitization. As Eric said, we contribute to a wide range of partners, mid-sized publishers, small publishers. We are a leading partner for profit and non-profit solutions and a trusted expert, as you heard already. Why digitization? We heard from this morning that there are still ongoing digitization efforts all over the world. Google did halfway, then stopped. We heard yesterday it's not easy to get the knowledge why. I would be interested as well. And so if you have some more knowledge to share, please reach out. So we are here to help out a little and offer what we learned through our journey in digitization. We strongly believe that scholarly backlist content, backlist titles remain relevant. This is legacy content that needs to be accessible, not sitting on shelves somewhere in a magazine, even worse in a library. Being accessible and discoverable all over the world. And that's why we're offering a huge range of toolbox, a huge range of tools to make that happen. As said, we strongly believe that backlist titles remain relevant and that historical titles contribute to today's research. And that over the decades and even centuries, still is a unique data set that was created and published back in the days. And we see it somehow of a treasure hold and name ourselves as somebody who is able to lift their treasures or help publishers, the gatekeeper, to lift their treasure. If I call back Schumpeter from yesterday, I think he himself wasn't really received much buzz during his days in his time, but we had the pleasure to meet some of his renegades yesterday, and so this is one example for me that this old content, maybe overseen in its age, is relevant for future researchers. And next to those accessibility, we think that discoverable, that's more to the right part of the slide, is also quite important. We help next to the publishers to survive and stay independent, libraries to overcome certain challenges and have some of those advantages. We live the limited access, so one book, one print on a shelf is not that discoverable and accessible as a digital copy online. And we also facing with digitization the risk of loss, as Eric mentioned before. And you could also think of an advantage for a library if you have a digital title accessible for multiple users at the same time instead of one printed copy sitting on a shelf. Next to accessibility and discoverability, we of course strive to make this content profitable again. So once you meet the market needs for accessibility, usability, you can then develop around those products. You see here the market share. This is a sample from one of the projects I gained my most experience. I started with the Greuter's own digitization project. So we digitized over 65,000 copies from a 270-year-old publisher based in Berlin. And if you see we started in 2017, and if you see the cumulated costs against the cumulated revenue, the revenue has offset the cost 3 times. And this happened because we serve a wide range of products. We produce print on demand as well as ebook on demand, even for retailer market, as well as an institutional market with EBA models, as well as PDA models or packages, collections. And these are a sample of completed digitization projects. This is one of our claim. Out of print is out of date. And we received or we achieved for those partners exactly that claim. And next to the next to be available again, we also been able to prove that those titles remain relevant while showing usage as well as citations through our platform. For example, as I said, top right corner, the Grote archive, book archive, we completed, as well as the Akademie Verlag book archive. It's the former scholarly publisher from the GDR. So we digitized all of them and make them accessible to the community, scholarly community, and to the market. Yeah, time's flying by. Over to Flo for the running projects. Yeah, I'm happy if you come by, speak to me, and talk about such projects. Happy to share.
Yeah, thanks, Danilo. Thanks, Eric. My name is Florian Hofbauer. I'm also at the Grote Brill now Paradigm for like 8 years. We heard earlier there's also people working in libraries that are not librarians, and I'm librarian but never worked in a library. So there is nothing that doesn't exist. And yeah, what are we doing? What is digitization? I got once asked at the Frankfurt Book Fair from a small private law book publishing house that they got a super cheap offer to scan their books, and if it's a good idea to do that. And I said to them, you definitely need a plan if you do that, because yeah, digitization means not I hand you over like a hard drive or an FTP with unnamed files that you can look if you get happy with digitization. Means a whole service product. Right now we're working with California Press, Chicago, Yale, Hong Kong University Press, as well as Edinburgh University Press. This is all ongoing digitization projects where physical books are around, and yeah, we can make our whole portfolio happening. So why I mentioned that with this small law publisher that just wanted to scan their titles and thought this would be a complete digitization project. It's not all of that. So a good example is like California Press. For them, we did a lot of sourcing and metadata creation. So it's like you will know that in the especially 60s and 70s, there has been loads of publications, and it's sometimes our one part of our service to vitalize those catalogs, to go into the metadata, to dig into the catalogs, what has been released there, what is the whole portfolio, and how can we source it, what means sourcing. We have this out of print is out of date claim, and yeah, we make it happen by source the titles. The libraries and partners have no access. We have library corporations that give us the titles in exchange for the access to the product, so they get a free digitization. They sometimes even give us destructive scans because they want to limit their capacities. They have like sometimes in European capitals, which are super expensive, like rooms with books that get accessed once in 10 years. So this is also out of our practice, that we get library titles and they just get the digital copy back. So we do the sourcing, we do the metadata creation and the scanning. Sourcing can mean we go to a library catalog and land the title, but can also mean we go into deep research. We write to book antiquariats, we make proactive research. So yeah, this is a bit of my passion as a librarian. And on the technical side, of course, we do also the e-book production, the accessible EPUB 3.0 production. And what we also offer is like something like a digital restoration of the titles. So it's not only a scan where you see the patina of the book. It's, you can imagine those scans as our presentation with a blank background. And of course, in the EPUB 3.0, you can choose your background, and the platform integration is, of course, then the last step of our digitization toolbox. We host the titles, and we of course also do some marketing for it and be there for our accessibility services. We work also as consultants because with the European Accessibility Act as well as the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act, there's a lot of health knowledge around, I would say, and insecurities at the institutions and partner presses, and we built some kind of a role as an accessibility information hub. So also if you are interested in learn more about our concept and interpretation, I have to say, of the European Accessibility Act, for example, you're more than welcome to talk to us. As a last, in like 8 years of digitization, we wanted to just share some insights, what we learned, what we would have done maybe different when we would start again with our 8 years knowledge. Now, first off on our list, what I always say, what we also heard earlier before here, keep your identifier close. You always need an identifier when you buy titles out of libraries. You need your own identifier that guides you through the whole project. A title, it's a physical book or it's your records. They never exist without your unique identifier that you have until you created your new ebook ISBN, because of course you won't have an ebook ISBN at a 1940 publication. Keep your scanning local is also something we are focusing a lot, especially in the last few years. This has ecological reasons, but also like money reasons, because especially with the developments in the United States with the taxes and the shipments, we have like 30% project costs just for shipping and taxes, especially when it's non-destructive scanning, when the titles come back. So we're working with the so-called pop-up scanning, that we have a really large portfolio of different service providers that scan the books, and we have, of course, our expert service provider that processes those scans into ebooks. So yeah, we try to not move the books more than necessary. And yeah, we made a good experience with this combination of our different service providers, of course, trying to end up also with the cheapest offer for our customers. Because, yeah, as I said, the shipping became crazy, especially overseas, and with the Brexit. Become proficient in quality alt text creation is also something I can recommend to anyone, because, yeah, you can spend a lot of money in alt text that will end up with very mid quality, and you can also be super smart in mass create AI alt text with the human revisit that is like, yeah, cost saving and really effective, I would say. So we created our own back office for the alt text creation. We work close together with our service provider and went on a long way, I would say, starting with trying to build our own AI tool. Then we got aware of that we need the support of our service providers. And yeah, this is an interesting development. All the other accessibility tools are one in a lifetime setup. Then you can just process this in all of your ebooks. But yeah, I would say those alt text will become really important in the next decades. So yeah, there you can do a lot of things right, but also a lot of things wrong. Prepare for regional differences, of course. You heard we are working with Hong Kong University Press. We are working with OCR, with Chinese characters, with alt text for Chinese characters. So better start early to look at your projects, what is regional differences. One last example, we had consulting for an Indonesian public library that need to digitize the books in the next 5 years because the humidity in all of their library rooms is increasing so bad that they already calculated how long their physical books will have the chance to live there. So when you come from a library school, you heard all of that stuff about humidity, and it sounded a bit ridiculous, but no, this is also an example from our practice. And last but not least, learn to work with public libraries. I think most of the people here come from private economy background and what means logic and what means effective to us does not mean that this is the same right or wrong for public institutions. So yeah, we learned our lessons there. And yeah, we are more clever now, but we would also have maybe set our view into our relationships with public libraries a bit different if we would have known how different the approach on digitization and quality and efficiency in digitization is here. I doubt we will be allowed to have questions, but
Sorry.
all good. No, but you can contact us. You have our contacts. Thank you very much. I give the mic to you.